have a melody in my head, this is the way I'm going to get it out. This guitar, it's the easiest way for me to get the musical idea in my head out into the world.
I find it to be like a meditation. If I'm feeling any sort of way, I can always come here and it's like I'm breathing. And all I can think about is the way my fingers feel on the strings, what sound I'm making, and that makes me feel at home or at peace.
Like many things that occur in the Khruangbin universe, this is yet another surreal moment.
I actually learned how to play bass on this sofa, and now there's this bass. I love this bass. I feel like it's such a approachable style of bass to play. It's not too intimidating. There's not too many things to worry about, which is why I like it. It allows you to explore inside the box.
Yeah.
It's the simplicity and the approachability of this bass that allows me to be playful and allowed me to find my voice, which ended up being melodic. And because of the ashtray setup, it's like there's just 2 places for me to play. So I'm limited. And I think the limitations help the playfulness.
For the longest time, this was my only guitar. The very first one, the OG, was put together from pragmatic needs, you know? It's wasn't in a position where I could just buy strings all the time, you know? So I'm using flats that last for a long time. So it's well, okay, I'll make the investment on these graph techs so that they won't break. Useful tools for the job became okay, well, that's what makes this guitar what it is. It's very surreal to see those choices that I made back then simply so I could just make rent become kind of a, it's a thing now. Here we are. With this band, it's okay, I really don't want to have a whole lot of stuff. Just she's exploring the tone knobs or where she's putting her hands. It's the same kind of deal. I'm approaching it in a similar way. I spent a lot of time on this one and know this thing inside and out as far as the sounds it can make and the textures that I can use with it. And it's becoming really, really familiar with your paintbrush. We got the Graphtec string trees, and these allow the string to move and pass through those slots very easily, so I don't get caught up, because I do like using the tremolo, you know? I think it's really nice to be able to use that and get those kind of sounds. And then from there we got big frets. Figured, well, if there's more material on a jumbo fret, then maybe they'll last longer, so let's just put some jumbos on there. I ended up really, really liking it because it ends up where, my string isn't, or my finger isn't really dragging against the fingerboard. I'm doing bends. The first thing we did was replace the pickups that were on that OG with the DiMarzios that are now stock inside of this, because they didn't make any noise. This middle pickup obviously is the stock one, right? It's the one that is just a classic single coil in the middle, so I do still have that very distinctive Strat. That's that. But these guys, I could get really, really, textural. I got used to the sound of this neck pickup and how kind of cloudy it can be. It's very pleasing. You can play jazz on this thing. In putting that pickup in, of course, I did it wrong. And I remember being I'm gonna have to fix this, but I was on, in about an hour, I needed to get to my next gig. I left it and played the gig. I was this is actually kind of amazing. I'm gonna leave it. So I didn't change it back and fix it. The resulting sound from these two together is this very brittle kind of Tiesco sort of Sears guitar sound that is not typical of any Strat. And then you've got this guy, which will get you that very clean, clear, high gain sort of bridge pickup sound. And then, of course, we have the Graphtec saddles. They have their own sound. There's just kind of this sort of bell ring on top of it that suits this guitar very well. I remember painting the knobs and the pickups and the pickguard so they all were the same shade of sort of off-white. This sort of pays homage to that with everything being stark white. There's a little more material in the body than most Stratocasters, and it has this smaller radius, which has this blocky feel.
A lot of the features that are on my bass look vintage, but they function in a modern time. So the tuners are like that. I mean, I love these tuners very much. I love this logo style. That's really important to me. There's jumbo frets. I have ultra modern noiseless, very important. pickups by DiMarzio, which is a huge part of the space. When you're just starting to play and you're just trying to like figure out how to just make a note, it's like the last thing you want to worry about is that every time you lift your hand, it buzzes and it's just like so uncomfortable. And you feel like,
is my guitar broken?
Yeah. My preferred sound is peanut butter. It's my favorite tone. I like to be able to get some crunch out of my sound. I also still want it to feel like it has body and boldness. I like dig in a lot with my fingers and I bounce back between strings in not a very like technically sound way, which I really love, and I love the way it actually sounds with these pickups because it doesn't buzz. So I actually find maybe that's part of me.
I think so too.
I find this color to be comforting. It's not too loud. We've been trying to cultivate our music to be classic in the sense of being timeless. The look and feel of this instrument feels that way to me. The other thing that I love about it is that it just sounds better the more you play it. It's like your grandma's like cast iron skillet. Like you can have a brand new flashy thing, but if you want the good stew, you're gonna use the one that feels like home.
The sound of LL's bass, it is the blood of KB. The foam is in there and it like keeps things like do. So it almost sounds like a drum. I have this thing set up to where it's like almost biting usually. This is kind of like percussive. It's almost like a shaker, you know? Those two sounds complement each other very well.
They also look beautiful together. There was something sort of iconic, at least to us, about Mark and I playing these instruments and them having this like mirrored dynamic to them. It's really cool to me that they are coming out as a pair because like our music is about speaking to each other. It's about the conversation between the guitar and the bass. Another, I guess, like super meaningful thing, I don't know, as time goes on, as music has progressed, bands are just becoming less. So yeah, I'm proud of us. The band thing is cool.
The band thing.
Yeah.
I like being in a band.